Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. 51 years after he was shot and killed, the nation remembers Martin Luther King Jr. The way the church he spent so much time in is honoring the civil rights icon today.
High-speed rail construction underway for the portion still planned to be built. We'll have an update on the progress and the controversy.
It's time to pitch a tent and raise some money. The annual Campout Against Cancer is almost here. We'll have everything you need to know on this Thursday, April 4th, 2019. Good morning. Great to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher and Kevin Charette. I cannot believe it's campout time already.
I know, and everybody's been watching the weather to see what's going to be happening, and it's been on again, off again in terms of rain and how much rain, and we are expecting some showers maybe later on today and again tomorrow into early Saturday, but I don't think it's going to be much. Hour by hour, we're going to be in the 60s by noon, and then throughout the afternoon we do have a slight chance of some showers in the mid-60s. Now for the mountains, currently 37, 100% on the humidity, a dew point of 37 and a light wind out of the east-northeast at 3 miles per hour. And we'll start out in those 30s and then 50s this afternoon. I also have a chance of some light showers in there this afternoon as well. So we want to bring you some breaking news out of Southwest Bakersfield, where police are investigating what appears to be a hit-and-run crash. Now, this all started about 3 o'clock this morning at the intersection of Ming Avenue and Pine Springs Circle. Police told our photographer on the scene officers found a man in the road who had been hit by a car. Paramedics took him to the hospital, and we do not know how he's doing at this time. We'll continue to follow this story, of course, and bring you any updates as soon as we learn more.
A standoff that began before the sun came up lasted almost until sundown. It all started around 3 o'clock yesterday morning. Deputies were called to the Wonderful Company off Highway 33 for a report of a man on a roof. The man refused to come down, and a very long standoff ensued. The sheriff's office says the man never threatened or hurt anyone, but he did have a makeshift sharp-edged weapon. Crisis negotiators were called in, and the standoff continued through the afternoon.
The Wonderful Company was evacuated, and business never began here in the morning because of this situation and for the safety of all people involved.
Some 15 hours later, just after 6 o'clock last night, deputies arrested 34-year-old Ricardo Maldonado. He will be booked on several charges, including resisting arrest and trespassing.
It is a somber day in history. Today marks 51 years since civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. King was shot and killed while standing on a balcony in Memphis, Tennessee in 1968. He was 39 years old. A ceremony marking the anniversary is planned for later today at the historic Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia. Both King and his father were preachers there. King visited Bakersfield back in 1960. The city has since named a park and recreation center after the slain civil rights leader.
A Southwest Bakersfield doctor has some serious concerns about the city's homeless situation. He says it's gotten so bad, some of his employees fear for their safety. Dr. Paul Cadillo says one homeless man entered the lobby of the office and made threats to his staff. So he's taking action to keep his patients safe. He wrote a petition asking his landlord, who already pays for private security patrol at night, to also fund private security during the day. Representatives from several neighboring businesses have signed on.
I do have empathy for underserved people. I see hundreds of underserved patients, thousands of them on a monthly basis, and I do have empathy for those people. With this petition, all I'm hoping is that the people of this plaza are protected and we feel safe to deliver our services, whether it's healthcare, whether it's pizza, whether it's cleaners down the way. We don't need to come to work fearing that our cars are going to get broken into, or that somebody might get assaulted, or something might get vandalized.
Cadillo says he showed the petition to the landlord and received a positive response. We reached out to the landlord for comment but have not heard back.
We're getting a behind-the-scenes look at some high-speed rail construction happening in the valley. The Rail Authority posted this video on Twitter. It's a bird's-eye view of crews working to build the Fresno Trench. The mile-long stretch just north of downtown Fresno will carry trains under State Route 180, railroad tracks, and an irrigation canal. The project is moving forward despite concerns over where funding will come from.
In February, the Trump administration announced plans to cancel a $929 million federal grant for the project. The feds also want to reclaim another $2.5 billion California already spent on the rail system. And there's a lot of construction happening around town here in Bakersfield as well. Crews are getting ready to pave the south side of 24th Street between Oak and Beach Streets. So the road will be closed Friday night from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. Saturday morning. Then again Saturday night from 10 to 8 a.m. Sunday morning. There will also be another closure in place along 24th and the C and Drake Street intersections. That's also happening this weekend. The closure begins at 7 p.m. Friday and expected to last through 5 a.m. Monday. Crews expect to have everything back open in time for that Monday morning commute.
A new high school is coming to Southeast Bakersfield, and the Kern High School District wants the community to learn more about it. This will be the first high school built by the district since Miramonte and Independence High Schools opened in 2008. The school is slated to open in the fall of 2022 and will be built on the northeast corner of East Panama Lane and Cottonwood Road. There will be a meeting from 6:30 to 8:30 tonight at Valley Verde Elementary School. The interactive meetings designed to discuss and introduce the project while listening and learning what people would like to see in a new school.
It is 5:06 now, and it will be a day of games, rides, and music that draws thousands each year, and it's all for a good cause. The 6th annual Campout Against Cancer is happening this weekend, and it is the largest fundraiser for the nonprofit Kern County Cancer Fund. 17's Karen Waugh has a preview.
For each team, it's a year-long fundraising effort, and the Kern County Cancer Fund says their goal this year is $500,000.
So my dad had pancreatic cancer and my sister had breast cancer.
In 2008, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I found it myself.
I too, like Melissa, am a breast cancer and kidney cancer survivor.
My father, for example, who passed away from colorectal cancer.
I went through radiation, and now I just celebrated my 10-year anniversary.
Each year, we commit over $600,000 to local patients to be able to pay for their surgery, prescriptions, just any of their out-of-pocket medical expenses related to their care.
It became really dear and near to my heart because I got to see firsthand our patients who actually need the support and help financially whenever they either lose their job or just don't have the funds available to help them through their treatment.
In the last 6 years, we've already committed over $2.5 million to close to 600 patients.
We've done cupcake sales, we've done nacho sales, so everybody coming together, it's overwhelming.
We can't all be oncologists, so we all give back in our own way, and by forming this team.
We have over 145 team members this year, so it keeps growing.
You get this sense of just that people are not giving up, that our families and our community is stronger than this disease that's hit us, and that we will continue to fight.
Now, Campout Against Cancer begins this Friday at 4 p.m. and goes for 24 hours straight until 4 p.m. Saturday. The event is held at the Kaiser Permanente Sports Village. Wristbands for the whole weekend are $25, but there are also many free activities. Opening ceremony and survivor lap is at 9 a.m. Saturday, followed by the parade of teams. The carnival opens at 10 a.m. and closing ceremonies are at 4 p.m. There will also be free cancer screenings on Saturday morning, and to make a screening appointment, you can call 616-1661. I'm Karen Hua, 17 News.
Welcome back in your 17 Health Watch. The high cost of health care continues to impact the personal finances of Americans. A new survey by West Health and Gallup finds Americans collectively borrowed $88 billion last year to pay for their health care. That's 1 in 8 Americans who had to borrow money to cover their health care expenses. The report also found 1 in 4 adults say they skipped treatment due to cost. But despite the financial strain, 64% of Americans say they are completely or mostly satisfied with their personal experiences with the healthcare system. Meanwhile, one insurance company is making changes to help diabetics who've been hit hard by the rising cost of insulin. Cigna is launching a program that will cap out-of-pocket expenses for a 30-day supply of insulin at $25. Cigna says on average, patients paid $42 out of pocket every month last year for the life-saving drug. Cigna's announcement comes one day after the FDA announced it would bring competition to the insulin market. The federal agency sees it as a way to lower prices. One report found prices for all types of insulin and insulin products doubled between 2012 and 2016.
The American Cancer Society estimates that more than 101,000 people will get colon cancer this year. The most recent recommendation is for people to get colonoscopies at 45 because more people are having the procedure done. The rate of colon cancer is going down, except in the younger age group. Haley Hernandez reports.
Brittany Dodson was diagnosed with colon cancer at just 26 years old, and doctors think her tumor began forming when she was much younger.
I was healthy, young, and fit. I mean, how could I get this? Why?
Dr. Putao Sen, oncologist with Memorial Hermann and UT Health, says young people are not immune from cancer, but their symptoms are different.
If you feel extremely fatigued or pale, you need to check your blood count to see if you're anemic, because a lot of time anemic, the blood must losing somewhere, causing anemic, and also have alternated with constipation and diarrhea. Could be an early sign of the rectal cancer or colorectal cancer.
Brittany thought her abdominal pain and bleeding could be from diet or hemorrhoids.
My sleep habits, my exercise habits, everything I was doing that I thought would work was not working at all.
Luckily, she didn't procrastinate taking her complaints to a doctor. The first one who heard her symptoms sent her straight to get a colonoscopy, where oncologists quickly got her into chemo, then surgery, and long story short, she got the ending she prayed for.
I'm proud to be a survivor at such a young age, and that's the key. That's why I do what I do as an advocate for cancer survivors. It's because a lot of people don't get the chance. And so I'm one of the very lucky and blessed ones to be a survivor.
Brittany's now 29 and she gets a colonoscopy every year to make sure cancer is not returned. She admits the prep isn't fun, but she says she cannot complain because she knows they're life-saving.
Welcome back. It's 5:26 now, and people living in the Kern River Valley who are looking for work have a shot at landing a job today. The Kern River Valley Job Fest is happening at the Kernville Lodge. It's happening from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Job seekers are encouraged to dress for success and bring at least 50 copies of their resume. The Barbecue Factory is firing up the grill today. The longtime steak and rib restaurant is opening its doors at its new home on Rosedale Highway later today. Owner Bill Allison bought the old Cactus Valley restaurant and remodeled it to suit the needs of his meat-loving customers. The restaurant is also adorned with the work of well-known photographer, Bakersfield photographer, Greg Iger. The Barbecue's Factory's grand opening is today. The restaurant will be open for lunch and dinner starting at 10:30 this morning. And starting tomorrow at 6 a.m., it'll be open for breakfast as well. A new market and eatery in Bakersfield has its sights set on a soft opening for next week. We've been following this new business called Dot and Odd. It's setting up shop on 18th Street in downtown Bakersfield. The soft opening was originally set for yesterday, but it was delayed. Dot and Odd posted online saying it will be now open April 10th and thanking people for their patience. It'll be a seasonal eatery and plans to offer cuisine with organic ingredients straight from its own farm, in addition to selling groceries, beer, and wine. Meanwhile, at least one Family Dollar store in Bakersfield will be closing its doors this year. Dollar Tree Incorporated announced it would close nearly 400 Family Dollars and rebrand about 200 other under the Dollar Tree name. That includes the Family Dollar on Mount Vernon Avenue and Columbus Street in Northeast Bakersfield. According to the Family Dollar website, there are 8 stores in the city, and we're working to find out which other ones, if any, are closing.
Thanks for listening to the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's a 15-minute summary of everything you need to know about Kern County. There's a new episode every weekday.